After retrieving the Skeleton King's crown from the Chancellor's altar, we return to New Tristram, crown in hand, and speak to the scholar Deckard Cain, who instructs.
I have the crown.
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
If it helps me find the fallen star, I will put an end to him.
And so we have a new task. Remove the Skeleton King from his re-risen seat of power. Although we can't help but puzzle at his re-emergence, of more import is the fact he seems to be a final obstacle between us and the mysterious fallen star we seek. It's then we turn to see a nearby Captain Rumford standing idle, who worries.
The news continues to worsen. How can you continue to wade into the fray with nary a thought for your own safety?
I am a crusader.
We understand that not many can fathom our duty to follow the crusade or to this accursed fallen star, yet call to us it does. And so we travel back to Leoric's hidden passage via Waypoint and through the gardens. Once inside the cathedral, we spy the crater the fallen star has imparted, no doubt coveted by the forces of hell it has stirred in its wake, glowing a vibrant, almost mesmerizing blue hue and inviting us to the depths below. We then prepare ourselves for whatever lies beyond Leoric's ornate door, which leads to the cathedral's second level. Entering the second level, we're met by a large cavernous hall to the north of great statues, and are then confronted with the corpse of a villager, badly scarred and obviously tortured. Heading southwest, we find Leoric's undead minions shambling about, skeletons that take up arms in the name of the undead king and their tomb guardians, responsible for summoning the dead over and again until they too are felled once more. Descending some stairs, we see a gaggle of skeletons caught unawares and are again treated to an assortment of bodies and limbs strewn about, thanks to their sadistic slaughter. Further north, we spy an unguarded chest that only spills a pocketful of gold and alerts nearby carrion bats to our cause. Dispatching the bats with our holy flail, we see another of Lochdarnan's books on the lectern, which reads,
We returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch. My beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
A tragic tale most townsfolk of the area are familiar with, yet helps us understand Leoric's undying rage so much more. To the northwest, we see the undead are actively barring our path as we smash our way through. Waiting on the other side lies a weary bunch of skeleton warriors that fall without a fuss. Why they amble about? It stands to reason they must be attracted to the power of the star below. As we continue our search, we find a wounded townsman, but as we turn his body over, he's all but dead, and a trap is sprung by the undead that creep over a nearby balcony in ambush. Skeletons sorted, another lectern lay in the center of the room, and once more we read of Lochdarnan's journal.
I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on.
Upon entering the third level of the cathedral, it's then we spy a handful of necromantic minions barring our path.
Maintain your incantations. He will soon turn.
Ave Magistros. Ave.
Dispatching them, a dark cultist then rushes at us, and more skeletons pour forth, protecting a ritual performed by now 6 cultists encircling a lone victim in the middle.
Your magic is weakening. I am free! Now, back to my mission.
Once freed, we ask,
Who are you, friend?
You will know soon enough. Help me find my gear. I will reward you well. Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I have questions for the Skeleton King.
As do I.
Aiding this warrior to find his items, we move northwest up the stairs and are ambushed by undead ghosts, led by a unique skeleton, Shambo, the Savage. Fearing the warrior will fall without his weapons, we take the brunt of their attacks.
More wrath.
Sensing our new ally is in danger, we head north towards the weapons, and our path is actively barred by the servants of Jondar, who apparently does not want this warrior to find his effects.
The cultists dragged me past this glowing pit. What made it?
A falling star, and I mean to find it.
It's then we head south, but are met with more cultists.
Down this way! There are my weapons!
He's free!
I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar Order. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past Jondar. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
Very well.
Now aided by Cormac of the Templar Order, we seek to hunt down this Jondar en route to the Skeleton King. The Templar, in a more formidable state, proves to be a valuable ally in battle. But as we search for Jondar, we find that the path itself is blocked. Cormac, making short work of the thorny roadblock, leads us to his former ally.
Black magic bars our way, but the will of a Templar is stronger. You were a Templar, Jondar. How could you succumb to this coven?
The Coven is my brotherhood now, Cormac. The powers we serve will soon rule this world!
Jondar the Betrayer then sets to work, summoning more of his undead, yet has foregone any semblance of his former station, spewing forth plumes of necrotic poison and thrusting his waved blade in a barely subdued madness. As a Templar, Jondar may have been mighty, but as a necromancer, his cowardice is entwined in his strategy, relying on skeleton minions to do his dirty work at the cost of his own fortitude. As Jondar turns to flee, Cormac pierces his dark heart from behind with his spear, and the necromancer falls to the floor, begging for forgiveness that doesn't come.
Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the Coven's evil magic.
Betrayal can never be forgiven. Thank you for your aid. I will go with you on your hunt for the Skeleton King. But there is one condition. If we find the sacred tomes of my order, they are mine.
If these tomes are not the key to redeeming the Zakarum faith, then they are indeed yours.
Then onwards we go, to fight the Skeleton King. It is good to fight with you again.
We now accept Cormac as our companion in our quest, but we can't help but wonder about the spell held over his former ally, Jondar. We had heard of the Coven previously, black magic and pacts with primevals, but a holy warrior falling to become a lowly necromancer in their ranks. Dark tidings indeed. A new party then sets off to find Leoric's tomb deep within the royal crypts. On our travels, we happen upon the final scroll of Lochdunnen sitting on a pedestal.
And now I wander, cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth to die alone.
Lamenting the passing of Leoric's final loyal knight, we realize perhaps there was a parallel between Lochdunnen and Jondar, and we should not underestimate the powers of the Skeleton King, lest we suffer a similar fate. Down in the royal crypts, the undead burst forth from their graves in the wall, and as we head into a square ceremonial room, we see Leoric's own sword driven into the ground. Touching the lone sword casts a grisly vision of the past and the Mad King's betrayal by Lochdunnen.
Keep your distance from him. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leoric.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king, even if you will not.
It's clear the curse of Leoric is powerful and, perhaps as Cain said, stirred once more, amplified by the strange fallen star. As if hearing our thoughts, Leoric's enraged ghost curses.
You dare to bring the warmth of life into my tomb?
We shall put you down, Hellspawn!
We then contend with Leoric's undead minions and destroy his pillars of power that have been bolstering them. Now, our only task left is to confront the Skeleton King himself. Delving deeper into his shambled crypt, we find a parchment of Leoric's own journal, and it reads,
"We have just arrived in Tristram, and I must say, I'm a bit dismayed. This place is a backwater filled with serfs and an ancient broken-down monastery, hardly fit for the King of Condorus. I cannot fathom why Lazarus was so intent on this becoming our new seat of power."
After which, we find a familiar seal on a door to the northwest. No doubt the crypt, the Skeleton King himself. Upon entering, he immediately taunts.
You will never defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
Our path is now crumbled before us, and we search the northern arm of the crypt, but returned minions block our ascendance. Yet the returned fail all the same. It's then we head up the stairs to Leoric's throne. His body sat atop his massive chair, as if to rule in undeath as he did in life. We know we must confront the king, which means he must rise again. And so we place his crown atop his ghoulish brow. Leoric, thanks to whatever black curse that sustains him, rises once more. Double the size of an ordinary man and hefting a mace that no mortal could carry atop his shoulder. We retreat backwards as he laughs madly, swinging his giant weapon with glee. Like the necromancer Jondar, he summons skeletons to his aid, splitting Cormac and I up as we contend with the foes separately. We realize that we must work in tandem, dodging Leoric's great swaths while Cormac stabs relentlessly at his flank. Using Leoric's own pride as a weapon, we gain the high ground atop his throne. He rushes at us, infuriated. However, he underestimates teamwork. As his ego dictates, he focuses on his prized throne. Cormac seizes his opportunity, and we strike him a final blow together. Leoric's body floats high in the air as the dark magics rip his corpse asunder, leaving us to pick up his treasures, including his coveted skeleton crown once more. With the Skeleton King defeated, we see revealed is a hidden chamber below his throne, and cautiously enter the cavern below. Inside the desolate chamber, we descend some stairs and...
The crater, at last.
See the source of the fallen star, finally, a man at its center. And he's alive. We step towards the mysterious stranger and he stirs.
The falling star was a man? Interesting.
I remember falling.
Through several floors at least.
I am not your enemy. I think. Yes, I believe I have come with a warning. The darkness is coming. I don't remember.
Be calm and come with me.
The perplexed herald then hobbles to a nearby waypoint, heading back to New Tristram, and as he beckons, all we can do, it seems, is follow.
The fallen star was a man. Only a man. I begin to wonder if his fall is related to my crusade. I will take him to the old scholar. He may know.
We then take the man to Deckard Cain, who incredulously questions.
Cain, meet the falling star.
No man could survive such a thing. Who are you? What are you?
A warrior, I think. I came bearing grave news, but I cannot remember.
Your message might be all that can save us from impending doom.
And so, the riddle of the hidden star is solved, or rather spawned more questions about this stranger. His message of an impending darkness confirms, although we do not understand the greater forces at play, we do know that our instincts were right to follow the star, and that our crusade against the forces of hell lie with the stranger himself.